Hi Jimmy Kata, mambo? Printing depends on what size of a printout do you want? Um, Guys, we are waiting for our guests. Who is our esteemed guests? If you're watching from America, good afternoon. I understand it's about what time? I think it's about 12. Is it 12 or 11 or thereabouts? If you're watching from Kenya or Africa, it's about midnight. Me, I'm on a night shift, but today we have a special guest who is going to talk to us about education for nurses in America as compared to education for nurses in Kenya. We'll also tackle a little bit of how to select states for those nurses who are migrating. Like I told you guys, this is a home for nurses, but at the same time is a home for everybody. So the guest will be joining us. She's told us to give her about 3 minutes or so. and she will be able to introduce herself. She's one of our senior nurses in Kentucky. She's in Kentucky as we speak. So she'll be live from Kentucky. Don't forget to subscribe, guys. And don't forget to like. If you have not subscribed, kindly subscribe as we wait for our guest who is about to come in a few. Jimmy Carter, I see you. Thank you for your support. Our guest is here. Hi, my dear.
Hey, ZP, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm good. I thank.
What time is it there?
Um, it's about 4:14.
Oh, and I told my people that it's about 11 a.m. My God, I'm so poor in
Oh my
this timing
God.
things.
Yeah, it's about 4:15.
In the evening, right?
4:15 p.m.
Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
karibu nyumbani.
Asante. Mukuwa niko nyumbani. I always watch with a YouTube name called I Can Smell You from the Roof.
You can?
I can smell you from the roof.
Wow. Thank you. So karibu nyumbani and kindly introduce yourself.
Yeah, so my name is Aileen Kanini. I go by Kan. Um, I am a USRN. I'm a nurse. I worked in Kenya as a nurse. I worked in South Sudan as a nurse. And then I'm here in America as a nurse. And
Wow.
yeah.
So without wasting so much time, like I had told you behind the camera, there are
Mm-hmm.
some things that people have been asking in the comment section. Others have been sending DMs, like direct messages. They want to know, and
Mm-hmm.
I felt it's important to reach to one of us, at least who have gone out of the country, like and have a bit of experience in terms of these nurses, immigration, out migration, and stuff.
Yeah.
So one of the most asked questions in my DMs is people want to know like what are the factors that you consider when selecting a state like you're supposed to move to. Maybe you would give us some insight.
Oh, yeah. So there are
Mm-hmm,
several, right, to
mm-hmm,
consider as an immigrant. We are talking about immigrants. We're not talking
yeah,
about people who are born here. We are talking about people like us. So we just want to be raw and real.
yeah,
So there's few factors. I don't go by, any formula. I just go by random, and
yeah,
it's
yeah,
okay.
just random.
It's
Yeah,
okay like
yeah,
so. One factor you want to consider as an immigrant, and especially when you're coming from Africa, is things like weather. Here we have different time zones, more than I think three time zones.
yeah,
Every time zone has their own weather. Actually, not even every time zone. Let's say every state has their own kind of weather. So,
mm-hmm,
find we have very cold states and very
mm-hmm,
hot states.
mm-hmm,
So, like cold states, uko like Montana, Alaska, you know, state like those. Hizo zenye ziko huko karibu na Canada. There are other states, well, they are cold, but you can manage as an immigrant.
yeah,
Very
mm-hmm,
cold. And those states, they come with, let's say, most for us, they come with a lot of disadvantage. Kwanza,
mm-hmm,
you don't know how to drive in those, snowy states. There are a lot of accidents,
yeah,
especially the roads, because garis will slide. You
yeah,
know, it's like driving how? Dr- You see that really not even like mud, not even like muddy, really like muddy. It's something else, like driving on like a glass or something.
mm-hmm.
Kwa
Yeah,
mafuta.
yeah, yeah, I feel you, I understand you,
Yes,
yeah.
ride a lot and they cause a
Yeah.
bad nasty accidents. So you want to consider those. You want to consider your health, if your person
Mm-hmm.
allergies, yeah, such things. You want to consider that. You also want to consider things like depression. Cold and unapata states have like 6 months uh, snow or 6 months
Yeah.
cold. So
Mm-hmm.
they come with that comes with depression. Many people
Yeah.
don't go out and don't get to mingle and don't get to go, fun places, and they come with depression. And then hot states, we have very hot states. Although
Mm-hmm.
um,
Mm-hmm.
most of our people don't mind that. I see many
Mm-hmm.
people in Texas, other people going to Arizona. But I'm telling you,
Mm-hmm.
I was in Arizona and that place is hot. It's
Now
hot.
that you mentioned, you are in Arizona, would you mind kindly telling the audience where you based at? I think we forgot to mention where you
Okay,
based at right now.
so right now I'm in Kentucky, a place called Lexington. It's not really a big city. It harbors like 600,000 people or so, somewhere like
Mm-hmm.
that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Lexington,
Okay.
Kentucky is just a state is in eastern, state, and it's just near Indiana, Tennessee, Ohio, West
Mm-hmm.
Virginia. Virginia.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So we've talked about whether you don't want to you want to consider states that do not have extreme heat and do not like the ones that have extreme cold.
And
Then you've talked about depression. So is there any other point that we need to consider when we are doing the state selection?
just
And I
like
think we should have shared, just to cut you short, I think we should have shared these the live to the group
yeah,
of like the MedPro group, right?
yeah, we can share. Can
Yeah,
you
you're
do
able to share from your, yeah, yeah, yeah. I think we're
can I
able to share.
to MedPro?
You can share. You can share to the group of MedPro. Maybe it will help someone. Guys, I think we lost our guest. She must be coming back. Let me share the link again
Uh,
with her.
yeah,
Hi, you're here.
yeah, I was
Ah,
sharing.
good. Good. Oh yeah,
Ah,
yeah. I've seen you shared. Someone has said she has seen you. I think she knows you.
yeah, I've seen Christine.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So we go on.
Yes. So we talked about weather. So for hot weathers, we have
Mm-hmm.
weathers more than 110 degrees, 110 to 120 degrees
What?
during that Fahrenheit, right? But that weather,
Mm-hmm.
you can walk outside. It's too hot,
Wow.
too hot.
I
You
can
even get
imagine.
irritated. Mm?
Wow.
But I see many people don't mind because kuna watu wa kwa
Mm-hmm.
Arizona, there are people in Texas, and I wouldn't say Texas is really, really hot. Well, I think Florida is hot.
Mm-hmm.
There are places like Florida, they're hot, but they're humid. You can,
Mm-hmm. Like
but
Mombasa.
yeah, but Arizona
Mm-hmm.
is hot, right? It's desert.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So um, another reason another factor to consider is cost of living.
Yeah, sure.
You
It's a
see,
major factor actually for me, I think.
yes. So you come with an agency.
Mm-hmm.
You're being paid between maybe 30 to say 33 to 40 or $45.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because agency, to be sure, they take like 55% of your salary.
Wow.
Yeah.
55.
Yes. They take
Is it a
55.
specific agency or it's all agencies?
Many agencies, you see, like us, we are paid like travel nurses. But
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
hospitals pays us like travel nurses, but literally we are not paid like travel nurses. We are paid like staff nurses because majority,
Wow.
a lot of money is the bigger percentage is taken by agency. So they take like
Mm-hmm.
55%, and then
Mm-hmm.
also, yeah, they take 55%, they give us 45.
Wow, that's quite a lot, huh?
That's quite a lot.
What?
So you see, that is not money, but I'm telling you, it's enough
Mm-hmm.
as a
Mm-hmm.
kid, even whether you have a family, it's enough for you to start off
Yeah.
and even save.
Mm-hmm.
It's enough for you to
Yes.
start off and even save and do something. It's just enough,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just, you can just do your bills, you can save something. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because
Wow.
yeah, we didn't come here to work 3 shifts in a week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Kenyans are hardworking. So
Yeah, for
you
sure.
living, hautaki kwenda
Mm-hmm.
kuishi kama New York ama California.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can go to California, but you choose
Mm-hmm.
uh, cheaper, sites. But
Yeah.
other here, cheaper areas, they come with
Mm-hmm.
problems. Ni kama tu tuseme unaishi
Mm-hmm.
uko Nairobi, kuna mwenye anaishi Lado, kuna mwenye anaishi Karen, kuna mwenye anaishi Kibera.
Mm-hmm.
Each come with their own.
Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, or like both of like all of you are in Nairobi. That's what you're trying to say. But there could be some parts in Nairobi that are more expensive, others are not expensive. That's what you're trying to say, right?
And parts that are not expensive, they're cheaper. They come with their
Yeah,
problems,
of
crime,
course. Yeah.
bad schools, you know,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
insecurity. Yeah. So you have to consider that. Like so,
Mm-hmm.
like, you wouldn't like to live in really like New York because it would be too
Mm-hmm.
metro. Utapata depression
Like a place like New York, how would you go into depression though?
because you don't have even that money to pay rent.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. The culture shock, the money and everything.
Pesa ya agency, it's not enough
Mm-hmm.
to live in place like New York. If you're
Mm-hmm.
out of agency, umemalizana na agency, you
Mm-hmm.
can, or probably you can live outside the outskirts of New York or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then places zingine
Wow.
kama those expensive,
Mm-hmm.
you also want to avoid sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then also very cheap places. I
Mm-hmm.
don't really like talk about really a state specific for
Mm-hmm.
that because we have
Mm-hmm.
nurses uko.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they would
Our own
probably
Kenyan nurses who are there.
feel offended. But
Mm-hmm.
this cheap place, you want to consider these very cheap places, like very cheap
State,
states.
the chief state,
Utapata,
yeah.
utapata those states are poor.
Mm-hmm.
You'll find that the schools are also not.
Mm-hmm.
You'll find
Mm-hmm.
their crime rate iko
The
high.
crime rates are high. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's what I feel.
You want to live, cost of living. It will
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So another thing is
So the point that I've gotten there is, you don't want to go to a very cheap state because of factors like crime rates.
yeah,
Because of course you want to bring up your kids in a safe environment, and
yeah,
then again you don't want to go to very expensive states because you really don't have that much money as a new immigrant. Because at the end of the day, the amount of money you're getting is not that enough to cater for the bills in the beginning until maybe you're out of the agency, like you're done with your bond, right? That's what you
exactly.
mean.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I hope they are getting it. Yeah, okay. So we've talked about weather, we've talked about depression. You want to avoid depression because of culture shock and all that. We also talked about cost of living. So you don't want to go to the most expensive and the most cheapest set. So maybe
Yeah.
we get another
But
factor.
but sometimes, like my state, Equap
Mm-hmm.
not that expensive. It's a cheap.
Mm-hmm.
It's considered a
It's a
cheap.
middle, in the middle.
It's a considered a cheap state. But then
Uh-huh.
don't
Mm-hmm.
go to remote areas. Outer west,
Mm-hmm.
don't go to remote areas. So you go to kind
Mm-hmm.
of, even if it's a cheap state,
Mm-hmm.
you consider like a city. When you're choosing where to go, you
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
ask yourself, Google the cities that you're going, Google
Mm-hmm.
who live there, because too few,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of, I mean, wakiwa wachache sana, you
Mm-hmm.
you will question yourself why.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's a cheap state, you're in a
Mm-hmm.
which has a number of people, it's a good thing
Mm-hmm.
for you to start off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't live
Oh.
in in a cheap state. I liked
Mm-hmm.
it when I came, but I also don't
Mm-hmm.
like to tell you why.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I came, it was like a soft land for me.
Mm-hmm. The
Because
soft landing,
yeah,
like you're from Kenya. So you
yes,
feel like, wow.
yeah, it was like a
Mm-hmm.
soft for me, and you don't, I live in a. This is a cheap, but where I live, kinda, it's considered an expensive area,
Mm-hmm.
which
Mm-hmm.
I nimeishi kwa masonko kidogo kwa. But when you look at how much I'm paying for a 2 or 3 bedroom house,
Mm-hmm.
way cheaper than how much someone is paying at just a regular place somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
unapata ni suburb iko kazuri, si kabaya, it's an expensive place, and then when you get these places, easy
Mm-hmm.
expensive places, unapata
Mm-hmm.
the schools are good and the securities.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
my state is not is a cheap one, but sasa pia
Mm-hmm.
takaa huko kwenye nalipa $800 per month ama
Mm-hmm.
$6 per month.
For a house.
Yes, sijakaa huko, so
Wow. Oh,
I'm
uko
paying.
middle, like in the middle.
Yeah, nalipa, silipi pesa kidogo, and that's how I'm
Mm-hmm.
able, because this state haina shule mzuri, to be sincere.
Mm-hmm.
When you
Mm-hmm.
Google it, it has the schools are very poor. So
Mm-hmm.
make up your mind, are you going to pay
Mm-hmm.
this much so that your kids will get to go to a good school?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you have to really like balance.
Okay.
Yeah,
So in terms of schoolings for the kids, you also have to bear in mind, like in the state that you're living or the state that you're selecting, you have to bear in mind, like you have kids, or at some point you'll get kids. So you'll have to mind about the kids' education and stuff.
not even the
And
state
so
alone.
there's something.
Not even
Mm-hmm.
alone. So,
Mm-hmm.
let's say you're in, let's say, Kentucky or Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say Kentucky, right? We compare
Yeah.
Kentucky and Maryland has
Mm-hmm.
schools generally,
Mm-hmm.
and it's expensive. It's a little bit
Mm-hmm.
expensive. Kentucky is cheaper, but
Mm-hmm.
shule mzuri. So I live in
Mm-hmm.
Kentucky. I choose an expensive place to live, which is not even I can't even get that kind of a house in Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I will get good schools there. But
Wow.
someone else lives in Maryland and they pay
Mm-hmm.
relatively an okay house, just a middle
Mm-hmm.
house. They will probably have to struggle getting the good schools. So you,
Schools.
yeah, so you kind of have
Mm.
to.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
It's
That's a good point.
it's complicated.
Um, yeah,
So
it sounds a bit complicated. So we've
yeah,
talked about schools for the children, cost of living, depression. Like you want to really avoid depression because of maybe factors to consider like culture shock or something, weather. So is there anything else maybe you would tell us about factors to consider when selecting states?
So I'll talk about two more things.
Mm-hmm.
And the first one is you want to live in an area.
Mm-hmm.
You see, most of agencies they take people kwa village.
Mm-hmm.
But I tell you, I mean, I'm here. I have seen it, and people suffering. You want to live in
Wow.
that
But why
is
would they want to take you to the village though? You're coming from Kenya, you're coming from Africa, you really know nothing about America. So why would they? Because I've realized actually there are some agencies, like you tell them you want to go to Texas, they tell you there is no vacancy in Texas, or even they tell you there is a vacancy in Texas because that's where you know people are. And really, like that's where you have friends, you have colleagues whom you're working with back in Kenya or back in Africa. But then they tell you there is no like there is no vacancy there. So they end up throwing you in places that they feel like it's to their comfort. Why do they do that though?
so listen. Every state has their village part of it. That's
Okay, yeah, for sure.
even that Texas, Icona village.
Mm-hmm.
Out away
Yeah.
part, very rare. Just look at it. All the
Mm-hmm.
agencies at Awewe,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you will find
Mm-hmm.
that kama umetumwa
Mm-hmm.
Texas ko ka place kenye
Mm-hmm.
kako na 100 people, 200 people, and that is Texas
Wow.
with people.
Are you
So that
able to know how many? Are you able to know what is the population of a particular area that you're going if you're in Kenya? If let's say you're in Kenya,
you just Google everything.
or you Google, because
Yeah,
me when I was doing my state selection, it was very difficult to get ample information anyway. Like you couldn't get so much information on Google unless you
yeah,
rely on what people are over there telling you.
yeah. Na most of people tumechoka cause unaulizwa
Yeah, I know. Like you guys were at some point in the WhatsApp groups were very educative. But I think at some point you guys kind of gave up or something. Don't give up on us.
tulichoka kwa sababu you will answer at 50 million times and you
I
don't.
know, I know. But at least when it's recorded here, like now when you answer this question, somebody can come and watch later and understand what you were saying. So I think we should be having sessions and sessions like after every now and then. Maybe weekly we have one session like that. So
Yeah,
that we are able to tackle all these questions that people have been asking.
exactly. So
Because I feel like it's so informative.
yeah, so I'm talking about cosmopolitan.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at how agencies are sending people, nurses from Kenya,
Mm-hmm.
they are never sending them to Houston or
Mm-hmm.
to Dallas or to
Mm-hmm.
wachache sana wanaenda huko, and even if
Mm-hmm.
they're sending them huko ndani kidogo, like
Mm-hmm.
hours from Dallas, like 4 hours from Dallas, like
So this
unapata
still in the
ndani.
shads.
Yeah,
In the shads.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
huko ndani, and
Mm-hmm.
that is where the problem comes from.
Mm-hmm.
Ukitumwa huko, you will find that it's I don't want to use some of the words kwa nini
Yeah,
kwa
I
YouTube,
know, I know. Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah, I know.
utapata hakuna watu wengi, hakuna mixture,
Mm-hmm.
it's not
Mm.
this
It's
place.
not cosmopolitan. Like it's not favoring some races or some like you know.
it, these places are so racist.
Mm,
These
mm-hmm,
places
mm-hmm.
kabisa huwezi toboa huko. I have
Wow.
for
But it's
example,
true anyway, it's just like Kenya, you know, sorry to say this, just like Kenya, whereby you're told if you're from a certain tribe, there are some places that are not conducive for you to work. A place
yeah,
like Wajir, is it Wajir or Mandera? Like there, I mean, it's everywhere. There's some places that it's not conducive for you if you're from a certain tribe for you to work there. So I mean,
yeah,
it's understandable. So I think
yeah,
that's also a good factor. So when you come to America, that means you don't want to go to places where there are so many whites and then like it's not white dominated and it's not black dominated. I think that's
if,
what you're trying to say. It
yeah,
should balance.
let's say
Yeah.
you state it is Kentucky, avoid those
Mm-hmm.
on a few people, avoid those
Mm-hmm.
places that are not city kind of, you know,
Mm-hmm.
avoid
Mm-hmm.
Pulupate, it's there are few people living in, and then you Google white population and other population, avoid it
Mm-hmm.
because out at
Mm-hmm.
the hospitals, the our nini watakupea mpaka even workers. I have a
Mm-hmm.
friend mwenye hey Mary,
I can see Marianne. Thank you for coming. And Mary saying hi, fellow Irene. You're welcome and share the live. We need to talk to as many people as we can. We have Irene Kanini here, all the
Mm.
way from Kentucky, giving us some insight. She's
Yes.
one of the most educated nurses from Kenya.
All right.
It's true.
I take
That is where we are headed. That's where we are headed to
that
about education.
exactly. So you find a
Mm,
lot of friends when you
mm-hmm,
pahali na agency, but 2 3
mm-hmm.
months down the line you go to work time ya
Oh,
kufanya
Mary is from Australia. Mary is watching from Australia. Thank you. You're welcome. Kindly share the live. We need to reach as many people as we can. We are watching from we have me, I'm from Kenya. I'm live from Kenya, but Irene is
the
live
you
from Kentucky
yeah.
in the US. She just finished her night shift. Me, I'm on my night shift. I think Irene should say whether she's on night shift.
No, I'm not.
Irene,
I
what
don't
time
join
is
night shift. No, not working
My
today.
night is not heavy. My night is not heavy, and I've left my patient. I work in ICU. I think you know we used to work with you in the same unit, but I've
Yeah,
left my patient with my fellow RN, so we're taking care of my patient. So my patient is sorted.
yeah.
That's
So
why we
for
have time to chit chat here. We go back to the topic.
for those who just joined in, we worked with CP in one of the ICUs.
One of the best
I
ICUs in the country.
had fun.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
So I was talking about I have friends who
Mm-hmm,
dying, they just couldn't make it. Unafika time ya shift inafika and you get
mm-hmm.
anxiety. Yani unashikwa na
Yeah,
anxiety nitafika saa ngapi. You don't even know what's going to happen. Even the staff watakupea the heaviest patients because your agency nurses and you're paid well.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So utapewa even the wale wabaya. Yani it's bad. And the patients watakupa all sorts of names. Yeah,
Mm-hmm, for sure.
ipata someone such cases you will never be called a name, but there are states that you
Yeah.
will be called a name.
Oh
So
wow.
yeah, so you can imagine what you're going through is what your kids
Mm-hmm.
and their hearts are just little
It's
like
cool. It's cool. Yeah.
their hearts are just little like this. They don't even know how to deal with that. So you
Oh
can
my goodness. That's
imagine
very sad.
if you get sad and you get heartbroken when
Yeah.
they do that, they do you that. What about those
Mhm.
little? So you have
Wow,
to.
that's so
A lot of people mi naambianga watu wacheni kusikia ati naenda Texas.
mm-hmm.
Ukitaka kwenda Texas uulize unaenda wapi, enda hata Austin, unaona.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Kuna place unaweza enda Texas na uko karibu na Mexico, huko utatoboa
Mm-hmm.
aje. Everyone is speaking everyone is speaking inaitwa nini,
I know some
Spanish.
Spanish. They use Spanish,
Everyone
I guess.
Spanish, the patients,
So you
everybody.
need to learn about new language and stuff. Like it's a bit of work.
How you do it? I'm telling you, here in
Yeah.
people don't even speak something you can hear. And
Wow.
hizi states zenye hizi states we are talking about, they have very
Mm-hmm.
deep. Zingine zina,
Mm-hmm. The accent is a bit deep. You can't even understand what they're saying.
zingine we don't even understand. Like me, ukipata hao
Mm-hmm.
southern accent
Mm-hmm.
hiyo deep. Huu mtu anaongea ni kama I don't know, ni kama amewekwa memory card kwa mdomo. You don't even
The training and everything, you can't understand what they're telling you. And maybe that's your patient, and maybe the patient is in dire need of your help, but you can't even understand what they're saying, right?
and they would think that you're dumb. Most of the time
You're
you
ignoring. Yeah.
and they get frustrated.
Wow.
You also
Wow.
frustrated because you cannot understand what your patient, your primary
Yeah.
patient, you know. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's really bad. Sometimes just
Wow.
those uko ndani ndani sana for
Yeah.
because sometimes unaweza jiuliza ama nirudi tu nyumbani. I
I
have
know. The
asked that.
frustration.
Yeah, a lot of frustrations. Na
Wow.
uko ndani ndani hakuna
Mm-hmm.
no opportunities. This is one thing
Mm-hmm.
I say. You see,
Mm-hmm.
let me tell you,
Mm-hmm.
my example for myself. Here
Mm-hmm.
I am. It's
Mm-hmm.
a big state. It's not a big city, right?
Mm-hmm.
Na kuna few hospitals.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, kama unataka
Mm-hmm.
tuseme a job outside, like PRN job outside, hakuna opportunities. And
Mm-hmm.
example, unataka kuondoka hawa watu cause utakaa na wao for ni
Of course, huwezi ishi na wao forever.
yeah, ni ngumu sana someone is knocking, I don't know who. But
Oh.
ni ngumu sana kunini ku
Mm-hmm.
kumaliza. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Really.
Yeah.
Many people don't.
Wow.
Say
They don't
90%,
finish their contract or they just reach out the contract or something.
yeah, say 95% don't. It's really,
Wow.
yeah, 3 years is hard, but OGP they
But,
do.
but I understand, but I understand again when you want to reach the contract with the agency, you have to pay some amount of money.
Yeah.
So is it possible for you to have accumulated that money after 1 year or maybe like after 5 months for you to be able to pay the agency and you pay off the contract or something?
No, not after 5 months, not
What do
after,
they do?
but you can accumulate that after 1 year. You can accumulate
Mm-hmm.
$1,000. You pay them.
Mm-hmm.
Ama
$1,000. $1,000, you say.
$26,000.
26,000.
1 year, yeah, because every year it's about 13,000
Wow.
for us.
Okay.
For us,
For the migrants, that is for the travel nurses, like as we're travel nurses when you get there, right?
yeah. So many people, near about that
Mm-hmm.
much, but
Mm-hmm.
pay them per month. There's also that
Mm-hmm.
option, pay them per month. You can do with them for 1 year or 2 years. So when you do for
Mm-hmm.
fanya na 1 year, utalipa
Mm-hmm.
$1,000 hapo hivyo, 1,100 hapo hivyo per month.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it will not be that expensive for you. So what you're telling us is like it's advisable. Like I come after I immigrated or something, I work with them, my agency for 1 year, and then after 1 year I'll have accumulated a certain amount of money. I pay them off, then
You
I'll
can
be deducted monthly a certain amount of money. That's what you're
you
saying.
pay them off. You can pay them off na
Mm.
usinini wa atikulipa. Okay, you can pay them, but you don't. When you pay them off, you don't hautawalipa monthly. But when you
Mm-hmm.
don't pay the whole amount, see kuna una
Mm-hmm.
if you don't have this amount, you can pay month, like you can pay $1,000 every month, which is okay and it's
Mm-hmm.
manageable. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and then kuna hack. Watu
Okay.
ukiwatoka, unajua unaenda kwa hospitali ingine, they give you sign on.
Mm-hmm.
They'll give you
The
even,
other hospital.
yeah, they give you 10, 15,000. Ukipewa 10,
So
15
whatever you come and pay off.
yako will clear off haraka. So
Oh, that's also, yeah, that's a good hack, by the way.
yeah, kuna options.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, you
Yeah.
see, these things are important. That's why we need to be talking to you. Hey, you're giving us a good insight. That is very nice. So
Yeah.
another thing
But
before we go to education for nursing. Sorry.
OGP muona wakimaliza. It depends with an agency really, because like in Medpro,
Mm-hmm.
there is that in the contract.
Mm-hmm.
So even if watoka, uh,
Mm-hmm.
hakuna kitu watafanya kwa sababu really it's there in the contract.
Mm-hmm.
You're not breaking any rule. It's there in the contract and you sign. For Avant,
Mm-hmm.
there is as well.
Mm-hmm.
But for GP, I'm not sure. Muona wakimaliza, but you see yao
Mm-hmm.
si mingi. 2 years is manageable. Unaweza vumilia.
Now that we've touched about agencies, I think it's important to ask this question because I think many people don't understand.
Mm.
There is a way they were saying that what did I want to ask about agencies and bailing out? I think that has just gone out of my mind. But there's a way people were saying there's a way people were saying like an agency has told you that it will bond you for 3 years, right? Maybe if agency A has told you it will bond you for 3 years, then
Mm.
agency B has told you that it will bond you for 2 years, right? But you find that agency B, it is bonding you for 2 years, but it's hours. But then agency A is bonding you for 3 years, but physical years. Do you have something close to that? Have you
Yeah,
had something close to that?
yeah.
Can you tell us more about that?
I'm in an agency whereby you are bonded by years, and that shit is not.
Physical years.
Yes,
If
that
it's
shit.
10 years, it's 10 physical years, not like zile za Kenya unafungwangwa day and night. It's
Mm,
physical years.
ya jela ya Kenya.
Mm-hmm. So you're bonded for 3 physical years.
3 years, and that shit is bad.
I know.
Hiyo ni kitu hata inafaa itolewe. It's ni
And
kakunya.
and 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 as they're bonding you for those 3 years, are they going to increase your pay, like maybe from $32 per hour, like what they started you with, or at some point they'll have increased your pay? It will be $32 all through
Even if
for the 3 years.
somebody increased your pay by
Mm-hmm.
$10, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mtu hataja kusaidia.
Mm-hmm.
You can imagine for 3 days you're paid about $2,500, right?
Mm-hmm.
For
Yeah,
three
yeah,
days.
yeah.
This
3 days,
agent
yeah.
about 1,200 or 1,100.
What?
Yeah.
My goodness, that's a lot of money though.
So even if they increase that money by $10, that doesn't help
Mm-hmm.
at me. What I
It
know is,
does. Yeah,
and
for sure.
anybody to, if someone asked me really where to go, I would choose an
Mm-hmm.
it will bond me by hours, because naenda kuchapa
Mm-hmm.
over
Mm-hmm.
kuchapa hizo overtime, hiyo overtime in
Mm-hmm.
hours. Saa hii mi ningekuwa nishamaliza 2.5 years,
So
nimebakisha.
what you're trying to say, the agency that bonds you for 3 physical years, it means even if you work overtime, it does
They
not
don't
count
care.
to the years that you're
They
supposed
don't
to like you're supposed to be reducing. I thought it's like a reducing balance because you worked overtime. It
Mm-mm.
doesn't count.
No, they are
But
those.
for the
Let's
other
say,
agency, it will count even if you work an overtime, like that overtime is counting, like it's reducing your number of years that you're with them.
yeah, let's say
Wow.
talk about an agency here now.
No, no, no.
So yeah, so people should really, if I tell
Mm-hmm.
people, you tell someone and then they will tell you, bora nimefika US, my friend.
I
You
know,
uta-
like me, I'm just like, I just want to land. I did JF Kennedy. I just want to land there and say hallelujah, Yesu ni Bwana. So
I
I should know things. You
I
tell me I
know.
should know things.
Unajiambia ati bora ni land US. Do you know utalandi hiyo US na mtu mwenye ako
Mm-hmm.
kwa ako kwa hawali, huyu mwenye ako
Mm-hmm.
bonded ataland pia. And I'm telling you, within
Mm-hmm.
utaachwa na huyu mtu amemaliza contract na ana deni, na uko hapo una count miaka na miezi.
Oh my goodness. That is slavery though.
It is daylight.
Yeah, that is slavery. But now, let me ask you. You want to tell me that, but anyway, we already fixed. We already fixed because we don't want to talk about agencies
Yeah,
again. You know, my goodness. But anyway, it's okay. We shall sail through. But
yeah.
anyway, people should be wise. So what you're
Let-
telling us is those people
let-
who have not, like, maybe if you're self-sponsored, because I understand there are nurses who are doing
yeah,
self-sponsoring in this process. Like, you don't have to start with an agency, right?
yeah,
So if you're by yourself as of now, if you're by yourself as of now, you have to read carefully. If at any given point you're going to join an agency, you have to read their contracts very carefully. Like you have to
mhm,
be very wise enough. No.
yeah. Or
Wow,
rather,
that's important.
with a net,
Mm-hmm.
just apply to a hospital that will sponsor you to for those immigration things.
But it's a bit tedious. I think it's a bit tedious to do that alone.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Because
So
at the end of the day, I was trying to imagine when my agency was trying to tell me I'm supposed to fill up BS 260. I don't know whether I'm supposed to be petitioned for I-1 put. I'm wondering what are those again? Who am I supposed to get a lawyer to petition my things? I mean, I think it's a bit complicated,
yeah,
right? So at some point you'll need an agency, or rather you have like they have those agencies that have less less bondage. We call it less bondage, or their terms and conditions are a bit better.
mm, mm,
Wow, wow. So I think we've tackled enough about factors to consider when doing state selection. And I've
Yeah.
seen somebody here asking, I don't know who is, someone is asking, this is Marie from Australia. Has anyone thought about nursing in Australia? Wow.
Tell you my story. I did not start.
Uh-huh.
I
I
mean,
remember. Tell us that, by the way.
I did not
I
start
remember that.
after nimerandaranda Sudan, nimekuja Kenya huko ushago, nimerudi Kenyatta.
By the way, let me cut you short. I think you should have given us your history in nursing in Kenya before you even land to where you are right now. I think you should just recap kidogo, like where were you working? Not don't mention hospitals, of course. Like
Mhm.
how long had you worked in Kenya? What had you tried before you even landed in Kentucky? I think let's just
This,
summarize this video with that. Then we'll talk about the other factors next with the next video.
so it's a long story, but I call myself a go-getter.
I know you. I know you. So Marie Marie, because Marie Marie, is it Marie Marie or Mary Mary or whatever? Sorry if I'm mentioning your name. Because someone is even telling you, can you talk about side hustles, huko kama ya nursing homes, or is it advice what to do? Yeah, we'll talk about that in a few. But let her tell us more about herself because you've been very vocal in one of the WhatsApp groups, but
Yeah.
people just don't know who you are. They don't know who you are. They need to know who you are. So I think you should tell us a little bit of yourself, your experience and stuff.
This is a very young woman.
I know, I know that.
Well,
I can tell them.
after school, those many moons ago,
Mm-hmm.
we are finishing school. KMTC, I schooled in KMTC. Now in KMTC,
Mm-hmm.
Obi, unamalizanga exam, and then you go back for rotation for like 2 weeks, I think, as you wait for, you finish up with your rotation, your hours for
Mm-hmm.
answer, and then as you also wait for exam, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So that two
I'm not
weeks
I'm not I'm not an alumni of KMTC, so I may not tell so much about KMTC. I mean,
I,
someone might comment that one, I don't know.
yeah.
But I think
So
that's true.
that 2 weeks of looking for waiting, going to Kenyatta for orientation, see orientation,
Mm-hmm. The
unaenda
practicals.
unafika ukihepa because you're done with everything. These people are really
Yeah.
wasting time. Mimi, I was
Mm-hmm.
busy with passport, and I was busy
Mm-hmm.
with job.
My goodness.
And I
And
tell
you don't
you,
even have your license. You don't have your license
I
yet.
don't have license. I went without license.
My goodness. Tell us
So
more.
nime pass exam, tumemaliza
Mm-hmm.
shule. I don't forget, it was a Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Friday, 4 p.m. ndio tumemaliza
Mm-hmm.
station. We're supposed to
Mm-hmm.
pack, go home.
Mm-hmm.
Sha pack tambo before
Mm-hmm.
kazile vitu sitaki home. Of course, I didn't have a lot of things. Mi niko tu na tunguo tutatu tunne hivi na my passport and stuff. I went with ID, passport,
So
and
where are
ID.
you living to? You're going to where? Where are you going? You
So
already have your passport. You're just from school. So you're leaving to where?
nikatafuta passport, nikatafuta job, and I
Mm-hmm.
on Friday evening, or was it Saturday?
Mm-hmm.
I flew to
Mm-hmm. Lokichogyo.
yes,
My goodness. Uh-huh.
Turkana County.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know.
And the following day nikapanda
Mm-hmm.
gari za tukapanda gari za, I was with another lady, tulikuwa na yeye class moja,
Mm-hmm.
tukapanda
Mm-hmm.
panda gari za hizi ma convoy za UN,
Mm-hmm.
hizo convoy za
The
UN. So
young nurse you are just from school with your testimonials, no nursing results, no nothing, no license, no nothing.
I had results but sina physical result. Mi nilikuwa
Ah, okay.
kazi, nilikuwa nishatafuta kazi,
Mm-hmm.
find kazi, but
Mm-hmm.
you're going there, haujui
Mm-hmm.
unaenda na faith because you don't know
Mm-hmm.
kama ni ukweli, kama ni scam ama ni nini, but nilikuwa research vizuri.
Mm-hmm.
So unaona hizo convoy za za UN,
Mm-hmm.
nimewaonesha barua ya kazi, nikamwambia I'm going to this city, kama tutaenda. Wakasema let's go. Those people are very very lovely and they're friendly, they love people. Yeah, they call us Kawaja. Because we are lighter than them.
Oh
Kawaja
my
means
gosh. Uh-huh.
oh. Nikaenda
Mm-hmm.
tukaenda place inaitwa what was this place? It was Eastern State. It was ilikuwa inaitwa nini? Kapweta.
Mm-hmm.
Ilikuwa Eastern State of South Sudan. Inaitwa Kapweta.
Mm-hmm.
And I started
Mm-hmm.
working people called Diocese Catholic Diocese of Torit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Nurse of course, na tulikuwa na friend yangu. But life was
Mm-hmm.
really hard, but it was the best life I ever lived.
Wow.
Yeah.
But you're just from school anyway, you don't even have so much responsibility. So life must have been so good. Like
Yeah. So
kidogo money you're getting, even if it's 10,000 Kenyan shillings, is still enough for you, right?
it was good money. I tell you, it was good money.
Yeah.
Because I think we were being paid either 800 to $1,000. I think 1,000
Mm-hmm.
or
That
800. I
is
don't
good money, though. It's
know.
still good money for someone who is just starting life, no family, no nothing.
It's non-taxed.
Mm-hmm.
Don't pay nothing. Not even a house. Not even food. Not even water. Not even not. Don't even wash your own clothes.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow.
Yeah. So it was
Good
okay.
amount though.
On a year,
Mm-hmm.
maybe 5 months, 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
Was okay. Was
Mm-hmm.
I think I ever lived. So I stayed there for like quite a year, and then
Mm-hmm.
usichana ikaniingia sana, nikarudi
Mm-hmm.
Kenya, but kitu
Mm-hmm.
nilijua Kenya, hey,
Mm-hmm.
nilipata
Mm-hmm.
mtoto na nilirudi mbio sana.
Mm-hmm.
I went back.
Shida ikakugonga. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I went back for like 2 years, and then my daughter was now starting to talk. Akaniuliza, mami, utanichukua lini unipeleke kwako, and that was it.
It was a breaking point.
Yeah, but I'm telling you,
Mm-hmm.
after that, hey, I suffered.
Mm-hmm. Then you
Niliingia
decided else.
niliingia
Mm-hmm.
zingine nafanya 2 months na wacha, zingine nafanya 3 months na wacha
What?
nini.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but sasa nikasettle Kenyatta, nikadhani nimefika eh?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Nime- and then when I was in Kenyatta, I worked in Ward 5A that time.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
I started thinking about going to Australia.
By Kenyatta, you mean Kenyatta National Hospital or Kenyatta University? You know there are two Kenyatta.
The Kenyatta University haikukuwa that time. It was Kenyatta
Okay.
Hospital. Yeah.
All right. Uh-huh.
So I was in a
Mm-hmm.
surgical ward, and then I started thinking about going to Australia. And then I started looking for money. For sure, I looked for money.
Mm-hmm.
Nikapata pesa ya kulipa, ile 1.5, 1.2, it
Mm-hmm.
was that time, million.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
Mm-hmm.
because I had some little money, but go back,
Mm-hmm.
go back. I had some little money.
I think before we continue, Marie should have told us something about Australia. I've seen her. She's saying that she needs to go to church. Mary, or whoever, is it Marie or something? My number is on bio on the description box. Maybe you can reach me out. Then we organize on how you're going to talk to people about Australia because she really needed. She's the one who brought this topic. So we
Yeah.
continue.
So
Yes,
I
Marie, she's still here. Sorry, she's still here. Marie. My goodness, I come from Nyandarua, Kikuyu
marry,
land, shida ya matuchi.
marry, marry,
Marie, get
marry
my
with
number on my bio. Oh, yeah, yeah, get my number on my bio. Hit me up so that we organize on how we're going to talk to people. Maybe you never know, somebody out there might get this information na inaweza msaidia. Nurses are suffering in Kenya, my friend. This country, things are not easy. We need to move.
so
Okay.
nikapata pesa, and I got somebody, my friend, me too,
Oh,
Nyahururu.
she's from Nyahururu. Wow, I'm from Nyahururu. Modo Amusie. We continue. Mary, Nani, hit me up. My number is there. Talk to me on WhatsApp. Okay. Mhm.
That's good. You see, that's good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Tell
yeah.
people,
I'm
and
happy
then they'll tell you different experiences from other
for
countries. Get
sure.
started.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I will have
um,
somebody from Nyandaro or Kalau. I'm from Oljoloro. Oh my goodness, I'm happy. Imagine we have people from home. Thank you so much, guys, for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. We continue.
So nikapata pesa, and I had somebody who was hosting me, my real friend, really really good friend.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got a university in University of Perth, in Perth, inaitwa ECU, Edith Cowan University.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I've seen that name somewhere. Bye bye, Marie.
Edith Cowan University. So nikapata hiyo,
Mm-hmm.
and then they had several sponsors, nika apply and I got three of them.
Wow. That is now in Australia.
Yes. So my
You have
fees,
the money, you've gotten a school and everything, so you're ready.
yes, so my fees was coming to half that, was coming to about
Mm-hmm.
600 per semester.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Wow.
and then
And let
um
me ask you, let me cut you short. These universities that you've gotten, are they going to give you sponsorship? Like, is it scholarship
this,
or something, or you're just going to pay your school fees by yourself?
I applied, so I applied for several sponsorships. We applied
Mm-hmm.
several, and then I got three. I applied one
Mm-hmm.
applied one for, I think, African ladies. I applied one,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, over people with, I think, people with families or something. It was many. Kwa mingi sana. There were a couple of them. So
Mm-hmm.
nikapata, and then now that
Mm-hmm.
that brought my, and then I got also a full scholarship for accommodation.
Wow.
Yeah, however nimekuwa promised nita, but you never know, so unaenda.
Yeah.
Yeah, so hiyo ikafanyika, but comes
Mm-hmm.
statement, you needed something like 1.5
The
million.
bank statement, right?
They will need 1.5 million that time.
Oh my God.
Me, I think I had about 5 to 600,000. So
What?
it's not enough to convince immigration that you can sustain yourself in Australia as an immigrant.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
and then
Wow.
kuna zile tukora twa
Of
nini
course, I know you.
we
I remember, I think you gave out that story in one of the WhatsApp groups one time. I remember.
nikatafuta biashara mpaka ya timber.
Oh my God.
Timber yard, niko na biashara ya timber yard, but then
Mm-hmm.
conscious ilikuwa ina,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, hold on, what if nilikuwa na very
Mm-hmm.
many, although so many people have done that, and actually
Mm-hmm.
everybody I know, they don't come from rich families. Mimi
Of course, yeah, you have to struggle.
class yangu si ya rich people, and I never knew anybody who didn't do that,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And
who
of
did.
course, they have succeeded by now.
They succeeded, na wakaniambia unajifanya aje wewe ndio wa kwanza.
Kai,
Hey, I was like, oh
twende
my,
nalo.
nataka kwenda hii place, nataka tu kutoka Kenya, and I'm
I
afraid.
know that feeling. I know that feeling. I know that feeling. Oh my
And
goodness.
then somebody promised me a bank statement. I'm telling you, ZP, I have
Mm-hmm.
heartbroken than that. They
The
promised,
frustration. Ulichapwa
what?
character development ama?
Yes. When I was going, that bank statement ilipelekwa kona kumi.
Oh my
Um,
goodness.
you,
Kama
I,
kawaida, Nairobi.
I,
Nairobi.
I robbery. I
Oh my
cried
goodness.
every day for, I think,
Oh.
2 to 4 months. Every day, I cried every day, and I used to.
And don't forget that you have a permanent job. You have a permanent job, PNP,
Yeah.
one of the government hospitals, the best. You've said
Mm,
Kenyatta, right?
yes.
So, but you're still feeling disappointed. So, can you imagine somebody who is working in the private?
That
Life
time
is
was
tough.
being paid about 120, 130 hapo
And you
Kenya.
are feeling like you really want to get out of Kenya. Imagine somebody who is in the private out there.
Yes. I'm
Somebody who
feeling
is being paid even
right.
60,000 is paid. I don't even know whether it's 60,000. Life is tough.
I
People
used to
should have this information and they live. I mean, me, I want everybody to live. If they can, at the end of the day, every day a nurse is graduating, every day a nurse is being born. So we live and live for other people. If people
exactly.
get, let me tell you, it's because people don't live. I mean, everybody, especially if you're a nurse, they would want to live, but they don't have a know-how. Like they don't know how to start.
Yeah.
And so many people, what I've realized, so many people have WhatsApp. so many people have Google. Like right now, we're in the era of people with smartphones, but people don't use their phones wisely. They don't use Google wisely.
Where?
You're just there seated watching the likes of Akina. I don't want to say it's bad watching them, but you're just there watching the likes of Akina Eve Mongai, Lin Gogi. You're a nurse. Sit there, watch something that is constructive.
Yep.
Just learn how to get out of this land. Go out there and make a way for your children. Go out there and make some money. If you want to come back to Kenya and settle down, well and good. But at least at the end of the day, you'll have done something good for yourself.
Let me tell
So
you,
we've
Zee.
had the struggles. You really struggled, and you were in the best hospitals.
Yeah.
Mm.
So hiyo story yangu ya Australia, I used to cry. Naona hivi
Mhm.
August inafika because I think nini was in July or is it August intake,
Mhm.
and I'm getting
Mhm.
watu tulikuwa nao class ya IELTS pale Westlands
Mhm.
wana
Oh my gosh!
Aki,
You have to do IELTS. You have to do IELTS for you to go to Australia.
I did
What are
IELTS.
the requirements, by the way?
So you have to take IELTS. Hiyo ni requirement.
Band,
Even
and then you score band what? What band do they require?
was it 7 across? Na mimi IELTS nikafanya IELTS ikanishinda. I'm telling you I speak good English. I swear. I promise
I remember you even told that story in the group. What? Hey,
Peter,
you suffered.
I ended up doing Pearson test of English. Na nikapita nikajiuliza what the hell was this IELTS thing? I really hate that exam.
What? I
But
know. It's a torture.
but then nikapata nini na hizo results bado. Nikapata shule na hizo results. Because I passed na hiyo Pearson test.
Mm-hmm.
Nakwambia shule ilifika time ya kwenda shule I don't have na agency ananiambia, agency wa Westlands ananiambia si kanini ulete unaenda kupitwa na class. I'm like ngoja kidogo, sasa hiyo niko church. I used to go to Kasarani, kuna church ingine
What?
hapo inaitwa aje
Ya
akina
Pastor Ezekiel. Ya Pastor Ezekiel ama gani?
ni naenda Catholic, naangalia hivi Yesu crucifix.
Oh, Saint Ninio, like that church karibu na EABL.
Iko hapo hivyo ndani, iko huko inaitangwa aje hiyo church, St Francis.
Oh, St. Francis. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So I used to go there, and instead of praying, I just cry. I think it was the
I
place
know when you're disappointed.
I used to cry. I cry, and I was bitter soul. I swear I was a bitter soul.
Mm-hmm.
I never. I think I was so bitter after. Sasa imepita hiyo ya Australia na nimeona ndio hiyo nimepitwa. Nikasikia chungu. Nikaenda nika-apply
St. Francis Catholic.
Canada.
Christine anasema exactly. Yeah, thank you Christine. Thank you Teresia.
Nikaenda kuapply a school inaitwa Omni College in Canada, and I'm telling you,
Nimeona. I also tried that one. I've ever tried that one.
I mean, I did all the process ya Omni, all of it, because nilifanya na mauchu. I wanted to leave Kenya by all means.
Mm-hmm.
Nikafanya all the damn process, nikalipa fees yote,
Mm-hmm.
nikalipa kila kitu, English kila kitu, nikafanya kila kitu, and then visa denial ya kwanza, visa denial ya pili.
Sasa, let's go back to Canada, to Australia. What happened? You failed to get the bank statement, right? You were disappointed. Ulipigwa character development na Australia. Mwenye alikuwa kupatie bank statement.
Yes. Nikaona yenyewe hii 1.5 sita
Nimekataa.
na ile pale hivyo kwa Waweru pale hivyo River Road na kuogopa kwa sababu ilikuwa inakataa kabisa. However,
Na
mimi
kuna wale wamepata ile ya River Road, umekataa kwenda kuchukua, but walipata na wakaenda.
all of them got. I think God too anakuambia you know it's not what you want but it's not what I want. So mimi ni nani, kwa nini yangu nasema mimi ni kama hii kitu naiogopa, nikibaniwa huku kwingine sitawaienda. So mimi nikaanza process ya Omni College. Hata singestaja hiyo jina, but I wish I thank God with all the, yani musema sijui nitatolea Mungu nini ni msacrifice. Kama ingekuwa ni Abraham nichukue kondoo
Oh my goodness. Hey, you've suffered. You've suffered in this
Thank
country.
God I never stepped in that Canada.
What? What
Kingeniramba,
happened?
kingeniramba
Proper.
Hey, me I have a friend mwenye alirudi na tuko na yeye US.
What
Alifanya
happened?
arudi. We, another unajua nishasema jina so itakaa vibaya nikiwachomea.
Okay, yeah, we leave it. We leave it.
Yeah, but ku-immigrate kama nurse to Canada kwenda kupata license
Mm-hmm.
something. It's something that you
Mm-hmm.
have to go through.
It's not an easy. I understand it's easier to go as a student in both Australia and Canada.
Yes, nikanyimwa visa 2 times in Canada.
Yeah, Canada. Uh-huh.
Nikanyimwa visa ya kwanza, nika-apply
Mm-hmm.
na lawyer, nikanyimwa visa.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, I was sharing with my friend Judy. And then I told,
Mm-hmm.
si ya Canada. So, nika-apply. Also, I was like, I was telling Judy, why don't you just apply to a Medpro? And I know
Mm-hmm.
there, and we went to US. Judy
Mm-hmm.
apply, and then
Mm-hmm.
I think she was just watching me get disappointed, and then she was like, okay, so umenyimwa hii visa ya pili, so we kuja
Mm-hmm.
upange huku, and then
Mm-hmm.
for the next time, because I was gonna apply now in June, that
Mm-hmm.
April, so I was gonna apply. So kaniambia just apply huku hivi tusongange huku, you will see. I'm telling
Mm-hmm.
vile nilianza hivi US process in April, I never even remembered June imefika ni apply Canada. I forgot.
What?
I
What?
That's how God works.
Mambo ya Mungu nayo, wachana nayo.
Yeah, and here we are. So I think
Wow.
God anatry kukuambia it's not where you want to go,
Yeah,
but
yeah, for sure. Sure, for sure.
yeah.
And then I think most of the times we get frustrations along the way. We start making things and plans for ourselves without even maybe like trying to ask God for a way out. So maybe God alikuwa anatry kukwambia that's not your destination. I have your destination. Mimi ndo niko nayo mikononi mwangu. Na wewe unaanza kujipiga kifua pale, this is what I want. I want to go to Australia. I want to go to Canada.
I think,
But anyway, I've seen Marie has texted me on WhatsApp, so we're going to talk to her. And then maybe next time we're talking about US, we shall be comparing US and we shall be comparing life in US, Kenya, and Australia. We shall invite her maybe next week. Sindio?
yeah.
So now, can we talk about? I think you've covered a little bit of yourself. We don't need to tell people sana sana mambo ya mtu tena sana. So maybe we
Eh,
talk about education for nurses. What do you think about education for nurses in America as compared to Kenya, especially for those who are upgrading? Like now, me personally, I like calling myself USRN, ndo nijipee motisha, kujimotivate to. Mi ni USRN.
you
I'm
are
just
because
motivating myself. I'm
you
just motivating myself. But now, the fact that I'm a USRN and with my higher diploma, when I come over there, what would I need to do for me to grow myself professionally? Ama, like, what have you been doing you yourself? Because, okay, we don't know. We hear people saying that if you come from Kenya with a diploma in nursing, you go to America, you do nursing within 1 year. And like those people who are in Kenya, they're doing diploma when you're upgrading from a higher diploma or from diploma to a BSN, it takes like 3 years, I think in AMREF or 2.5, Aga Khan, I don't know, such kind of a story. So let's hear from the horse's mouth. What is the
so,
education status of an RN in the US as compared to an RN upgrading in Kenya?
so first thing, as a
Mm-hmm.
did you say you are a specialized nurse, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The
No, no,
first
just any nurse, eh? Like me, I am
I just
just
wanted
any nurse, like not a specialized nurse, because let's assume I'm just a USRN who have a diploma in nursing and I've landed in America. So of course I won't stay like forever as just a diploma nurse in America, right? If I was to stay in Kenya, I would have gone ahead and upgraded to a BSN, then maybe to masters, PhD, or whatever it is. So now I've come there. I want to do something for myself. what is the best way to start? Like, what do I need to do?
So one thing I tell people is kwanza, I don't think these people recognize higher diplomas like ICU.
That is
Real,
true. They don't.
what they really recognize. Unakumbuka mimi nilikuwa nimeenda shule. By the way, I started at ICU na
Mm-hmm.
nikakati.
Mm-hmm.
Kachia katikati niende US. I actually left
Mm-hmm.
niende US. So
Let
that
me answer you that because my agency explained, and I think through the sources of information that we have, like for example, me, I'm a critical care nurse in Kenya, but critical care nursing is not equivalent to any program there. So what
mm,
happens for you to be qualified, for you to qualify as a US RN critical care nurse, in the America, in the United States, you have to work in an ICU setup for like about an year. I think
yeah,
I don't know whether they say 1750 hours or something, but it has to be an year, close to an year, for you to sit for a certain exam,
yeah,
and then you be qualified. Now you qualify to be a USRN critical care nurse. I don't know how they call it. Like you have to be certified to be a USRN critical
yeah,
care nurse. No.
yeah.
So
But
they don't, it's not
yeah,
equivalent to any program there. So even if
even
I come as a higher diploma in nephro, whatever it is, it's not recognized. I have to start afresh. Like they only consider me as a diploma nurse, right? So we are talking about now this diploma nurse. If I want to upgrade, how do I start and how do I go about it?
so what I tell people is, if you know you're coming here and fanya process uko pahali, don't waste your time studying
Mm-hmm.
Kenya schools for um for your degree. Don't waste your time.
Mm-hmm.
One,
That
it's
is Bachelor's of Science in Nursing, right? The BSN.
yeah, don't waste your time. You
Mm-hmm.
can imagine,
Mm-hmm.
it's even actually at long run it's expensive. Why?
Mm-hmm. Here, back
Yes,
home.
back home it's expensive
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
it's $13,000. But well, for my school, and what is many this school is where many nurses go, Kenyan nurses.
Congratulations. I saw you graduated.
Asante,
Congratulations. You
asante.
graduated in Grand Canyon, right? I think
Yeah,
you guys were so many Kenyan nurses. I saw you guys.
we were so
Job
many.
well done.
We are so many nurses. So
Mm-hmm.
uh, uta utaambiwa fees ni about $13,000, but this
Mm-hmm.
you grants, government
Mm-hmm.
grants, something that you'll never,
Mm-hmm.
right? They will
Oh, okay.
grant pesa ifike either 3,000 or 4,000,
Mm-hmm.
for
Mm-hmm.
family setup, kama uko na family and stuff like that, and also depending on what you're telling them, like ukikaakaa ukikuja huku hivi and then ukae mwaka mzima ufile returns, that's not good.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to just upgrade, come anza kama uja file returns, it will
Mm-hmm.
do more grants.
Reason being?
Si watu wana unalipwa poa.
Also unafaa kukanyangia chini kwanza ndio one pia wewe uko ile level ya chini ndio uweze kupewa grants.
Yeah,
Na
umekuja
hizi
you're
grants ni kama
you,
help Kenya. It's like help. Ni kama help.
yeah, it's not
Ah,
even,
okay.
it's not help,
Mhm.
it's
Mhm.
like ni grants, pesa utalipa.
Ah, okay.
So utapewa zikuje maybe 3,000 ama 4,000 hapo, it depends on what you,
Mhm.
then
Mhm.
hiyo ni kama 500k, the government will
Wow,
give you
that's good.
loans for, watakulipia, government itakupea loan,
Mhm.
utalipanga kitu kidogo kidogo kidogo, na at the end of the day if you want to pay, that, because watakupea, tuseme umepewa 4,000, umenini 4,000, hiyo loan utairudisha ikiwa 5,000. Hiyo ni pesa kidogo,
Wow.
it
Wow.
clear once, hata bila kushinda ukisema ati unalipa polepole.
Mhm.
So one it's cheap than Kenya.
Mhm.
Two, aki kitu ni rahisi.
Ukiwa the other side, ukiwa USA kufanya BSN from RN, it's very easy.
Ni easy as in content. Ni easy. Si kitu utaenda
It,
kusoma Tasha mapo sijui mahesabu gani nini.
But nikuulizaje kanini? I have seen people like now where I'm working currently. I've seen people struggling with hizi masomo, ni kama mtu anaenda kufanya doctorate, ni kama anafanya PhD. What do you mean it's easy? What do you mean it's easy? Is it not the same BSN that they are doing here, like in Amref, Aga Khan, KU? Is it not the same BSN? What makes it different from here? What makes the BSN upgrading to BSN RN difficult in Kenya as compared to yenu?
Because zile vitu, you know, these people, you see, like these people, they give those questions. See, akunanga exam, assignments, right? Ni weekly na hizi assignments unazisubmit in time, every assignment in time. Na hizi ni online, you can research about it na upate.
Wow.
Anza na masite unazima huko.
Wow.
Yeah, you just research and then you twist a little bit. Isikai ni kama inaitangwa plagiarism or something, whatever.
Plagiarism something.
Yeah. So and then you don't have to do this thing. Unajua tu unaweza cheza Kikenya. So
yeah, of course. Mkenya ni ule ule tu.
Tena content yake ni zile vitu na ni vitu za community, adolescent, kids. Zile vitu about it. But you see, this you have to refer to a book. There's nothing for you to book, but you refer to a book. And got those books. So ni vitu ziko so easy, and the materials are there. The school is giving you all the material. It's like they're telling you, kama wanakuuliza, what is this?
Wow.
Yeah.
That is water.
Yeah.
Sio ni maji.
Water. And then there's somebody will tell you that this is a drinking water, ama atakwambia this is pure drinking water, na kuna mtu atasema it's 16 Oz. Unaona?
What?
So it's you to know, and then you will say, and this water is coming from store. So you see, you've quoted the book where it's from.
Yeah.
Easy. Ni vitu ziko easy. Mimi hata nashanga. Umeenda shule, like for me, nilienda shule 3.5 years. Alafu akuja niambie nirudi shule 3 years. Am I studying for 7 years?
Just making it so complicated, you know?
Like, am I a doctor?
Hey, like those people are upgrading from here. My goodness. Hey, those guys are suffering. What? Not suffering as per se, but for me, I feel it's just too much. And I just like the way you're saying, if someone is in the process, I don't think there's any need for them to start upgrading from here. So how long does it take upgrading from RN to BSN over there?
It will take you the way you want it to take you. Be 8 months.
8 months?
Yeah. Someone else took
8 months, why?
Someone else, I'll tell you why. Someone else took 6 months.
6 months. Wow.
Yeah. Na kuna mtu anachukua mwaka. So 8 months is, for me, I started classes, and every class, it's like it's kind of like 5 weeks. Many of them every class. And then nikafika point, I think I had done 4 classes or so. Nika request to double the classes. So
and a class is how many hours?
Hakuna hours. Ni per week.
Per week.
So you have assignment week. And then assignments, kuna like one class iko na 5 weeks. Every week the assignment that week. So you submit kuna zile za every week, then you go to another week. You can't go to the next when you've not done the previous one. To be able to double classes, you must have a GP or score was it 3.6 or 7 there? I'm not sure. But you have lazima kumaliza hizo zingine.
Mm-hmm.
so that they can allow you to double the class,
Mm-hmm.
because the work is double. You're doing
Mm-hmm.
2 months in 1 month.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If the class,
Wow.
you're doing 8 weeks in 1 month.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
So I doubled those classes, and I was supposed
Mm-hmm.
to graduate in May
Mm-hmm. Next year.
last year.
Last year, huh?
This year, this
Mm-hmm.
supposed to graduate May this year,
Mm-hmm.
but kuna kitu sikufanya inaitwa capstone. It's like practicals.
Mm-hmm.
So unaenda OC for 10 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Hiyo naye haina short,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm. So ni rotation. They normally do rotation as well, like here.
yeah, for 10
Ah,
weeks, like
okay.
10 weeks
But
per
people
year.
have been misleading, saying there is no clinical rotation. You see, now it's good to hear from the horse's mouth. People have been
Iko,
saying there is no clinical rotation. At
but
sijui the hours you're working in a hospital are accounted for the hours you're doing your studies and something for the clinical rotation. So there is, you confirm there is clinical
see,
rotation.
you can do that. I did that. I counted those hours, mimi nilizieka huko. Unacheza tu
So it's
kiwewe,
possible.
una
Okay.
get a preceptor. So
Mm-hmm.
ukitafuta preceptor beshte yako, mnacheza tu kama nyinyi.
Ah, okay, okay.
Um,
All right. So now who will take 6 months? You take you took 8 months, 8 months.
8 months,
Somebody will take six
friend
months.
took 6 months.
Mm-hmm. But
Yeah.
the same factors, as in all factors, like whatever you've mentioned up there.
Yeah, una double classes, umepita, and then they will allow you to go classes. Hold on a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little bit. Um,
Mm-hmm.
double classes, and then
Mm-hmm.
natia bidii kanasonga, tunakutana huko,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and I'm telling you, there's no
Mm-hmm.
point. And then listen, there's no point,
Mm-hmm.
because Kenya ni how much? About 200 per semester, or money 300.
Hey, I think it's 250 or something.
Yeah, and you see, ni try semester.
Mm.
Umetumia pesa
Mm-hmm.
nyingi, utakuwa umetumia a lot of money for nothing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I think by the time mtu anamaliza anakwanga ametumia a million, and then the hassles that comes with that BSN, my good lord. Me, when I think of NCLEX, if I remember what happened during NCLEX, I don't want to go back to school right now.
Umechukua loans zote Kenya, umekuwa frustrated na shifts za job yako. When you
Umesema loans ama unachukua mpaka sijui inaitwa nini hizi vitu za online. Unachukua loans zote mpaka unaona simu inakupigia unakata simu because you don't want my goodness. Well, yeah, don't even talk about it. So now at least you've covered something. So you've said the number of months depends on an individual for you
yeah,
to upgrade from RN to BSN. And then
what
you,
do
of course, you've talked about so what are the advantages of doing, of course, you talked about the advantages of RN to BSN in Kenya, in America, of course. Everybody knows the disadvantages, so we don't need to tackle that.
yeah.
Wow. What
So,
else can we do?
so advantages are if you see you have understood. Nikienda kuambia mtu, I studied in Kenya Medical Training College, and my degree I did in Arizona, a school called da 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 da. There's a status, unajua. And then
Yeah,
here,
yeah.
and Canadians, they love they trust their schools as well.
Mm-hmm.
Unaweza tuma ka CV pale uone huyu alisomea huku hivi US, anaona ni poa.
Mm-hmm.
When you upgrade,
Mm-hmm.
gaining power.
Yeah.
Actually, easy hospitality, when they hire you, they tell you that
Mm-hmm.
you has to upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Now that we've tackled about education, kidogo tuongelele what are other courses that somebody can do apart from BSN, from RN to BSN? Because gani zingine mtu anaweza fanya? Like what have you seen nurses doing? Like now already wewe ushamaliza BSN. What are your plans? Are you planning to do masters? Are you planning to do maybe a specialization? What are your plans? Like
I
give
am
us a little bit of insight.
I am in between doing psych, cause iko na pesa,
Mhm.
in hakuna do.
Mhm.
Psych iko na do.
Psychiatry.
Yeah,
Psychiatry.
yeah.
Mm.
Nurse practitioner, master's in
Second.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
I'm in between that and doing
Mm-hmm.
uh IT. Vitu za
IT.
IT, vitu za
IT,
IT,
like
data
Anas becoming an IT.
data analysis, lakini unapata you can do data analysis, hospital thing. Kuna hizo zenye zina favor hospitali.
Oh,
Yani
so like you want to come out of bedside.
yeah, you can come out of bedside, but you're a nurse, umeemployiwa
All
kama
right.
special. You see, like for example, there's those people who come up with this data that how many patients fell from
Mm-hmm.
bed, uh,
Mm-hmm.
wakapata injuries ni wangapi month, na wenye
Mm-hmm.
injuries, those who got complications,
Mm-hmm.
what kind of complications,
Mm-hmm.
kind of things, and
Mm-hmm.
such kind of things are medical. It's better
Mm-hmm.
someone who is well known to the like conditions,
Mm-hmm.
easier, because when I
Yeah,
tell you
it's easier.
two patients got hematoma, subdural hematomas, and they were done bahol, and two
Mm-hmm.
nurses broke their ribs and they were done
Mm-hmm.
such. It would be
Mm-hmm.
me as a nurse to talk about that and to
Yeah,
give
for
that
sure.
better than someone who has never been to a um,
It's
medical.
it's like it's like those nurses who work in insurance companies for
Yeah,
what are they called? At least they have a know-how of even medical diagnosis. Other than
yes,
those people who never step to school and then they go do claims in the hospitals. That's what you're trying to say.
yeah, and also
Ah,
I'm telling you, I'm juggling between three things: those two, and the
mm-hmm.
insurance
Then
here. Insurance,
insurance.
yeah, insurance. Actually, that is what is more likely to go by, because insurance here it's totally different from insurance back home, and it's
Oh,
something
wow.
person, every person,
Mm-hmm.
an immigrant, actually not even a mini immigrant, anybody who is living in Canada, Australia,
Mm-hmm.
and and US, they must,
Mm-hmm.
because these three
Wow.
countries are first world countries and they don't have
Mm-hmm.
health insurance.
Mm-hmm.
UK, Europe iko na very good system health insurance, but sisi hatu.
Mm-hmm.
Na unajua sasa
Mm-hmm.
pata shida nikiwa huku, tuseme nimekufa
Yeah.
aje nyumbani, watoto wangu wataishi
Mm-hmm.
kwa street. You see, those are things you need to ask yourself, and every immigrant must come to terms that talking about insurance and death does not mean you're talking about your own death, but it means that you're being smart and you're mindful of your kids and your people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, seme uko hapo hivi kama a single mom, and
Mm-hmm.
uh, um your kids are 17, 18, and you're single mom and you die,
Mm-hmm.
au watoto wataendaje shule? Na
Wow.
na wataishi.
Terrible.
Mtu mwingine ni single mom,
Mm-hmm.
ako na insurance, so ma life insurance, and that happens and their kids are maybe 16, 18. Unajua umeacha watoto wamelia, ndio, but wamelia
Mm-hmm.
na mortgage nyumba, umelipwa na insurance imeclear hii nyumba, na watoto wamebakishwa na pesa ya kwenda shule. Those kids are not going to those kids are not going to work 3 jobs to go to school or to feed
Yeah.
themselves. So you're
Yeah.
being
Yeah.
mindful of your, because this place is not a joke.
Yeah.
This place is not a joke. Um people must think about.
Like you have to have a way of thinking about your future. You can just be there, like,
And as Africans and especially Kenyans, we have a problem. We don't want to talk about death. We don't want to talk about.
which is, I mean, it's paramount. At some point, everyone will die anyway.
Yeah, and ya huku hivi si kama ya home yenye unajua hii ni ya home. Hii ya huku hivi it has living
Mhm.
benefits. So those are things that people should hear. Like you can, it's
Mm.
kind of draw na when you're doing
Mhm.
draw evil.
Yeah.
unajiloan yako. You can even think of loaning yourself $10,000. Unakaa
Mm-hmm.
work at profit. It makes a lot of profit.
Yeah.
Are things that people need to know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking about those three things.
Oh wow.
Mm.
Now that you've mentioned about that, you've tackled kidogo kidogo about nini, about death. I think the next topic we should be talking about is investments. You know,
Yeah.
how
You have,
nurses invest, like what is the best way of investing? Sorry?
you have someone from Germany. Take a note of that. You can also
Oh, I did see that.
about them. Ask them some.
Teresia Kongo. Teresia
How
Kongo, kindly, my number is on my bio. Kindly, if you can check it out, if you can check it out, please chukua namba yangu alafu uniongeleshe tafadhali kwa WhatsApp. Amesema I had not seen your messages. Germany huku insurance ni lazima kwa kila mtu, and if you're working lazima ulipe health insurance. But to get
yeah,
visa ya Germany is struggle and they really deny watu sana sana. Kindly
yeah,
Teresia Komo, hit me up on my
what
WhatsApp.
me? Oh my God, I rotated. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Don't worry, these are teething problems. And then there's somebody, like it's the same Teresia who was asking, I have my niece, amefanya mambo ya nutrition in KMTC, anaweza apply visa gani, and which is the best country. I think, Nani Kanini, you can talk kidogo about it. I don't know.
Okay, one thing, Teresia, we're not talking about health insurance. Everybody must have health insurance. I pay about $200 every week for our health insurance. Every week, $200.
200.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, I pay $200 every week for our health insurance. I'm trying to,
Umeinama tena.
yeah, cause na charge simu. Ama
Oh,
yeah.
so how did you do it? Oh, ni sawa tu.
Okay.
Hata yangu imekaa, si imekaa vizuri pia. We're on the
Yeah,
same
uko
page.
sawa. Yeah, uko sawa.
Okay.
So
So,
we're about health insurance.
mm-hmm.
Um, Nakuchapa. We're not talking about health insurance ile ya
Yeah.
ati kwa mgonjwa unaenda unatibiwa, hizo ni lazima. Yeah,
Mm.
that I pay $200 every week, so per week
Mm-hmm.
more than $800 cause inakwanga 200 na kitu.
Mm.
Yeah,
I think anasema she got it clear because she's saying I think she might misunderstood you, but she got it.
yeah,
I think she got it now.
yeah, but we are happy that you,
Wow.
because we get to have the utapata zipi utapata nini, if you get somebody from Germany akwambie vile nurses wanaweza enda Germany, that would be good.
Yeah. At least we have
Somebody,
one from Australia. I think Teresia can give us one of the nurses, maybe.
yeah.
Kwa screen yetu mko upside down.
Oh my goodness. Okay, let me try. Let me
Oh
try.
my God, this is interesting. So we fell down. Thank you, Christine, for that. We fell down, all of us. We were charging our
I
phones.
tried, but
Next time, I think, Kanini, you should buy a stand.
I think
Mko
so.
sawa
Yeah.
sasa.
By the way, let me tell you, today
Uh-huh.
nimeenda, si unajua kuna Black Friday
Yeah.
ya jana, so nimeenda
Mm-hmm.
store
Because
inaitwa
of
Best.
the Thanksgiving. Because of the Thanksgiving.
Yeah, so nimeenda kwa
Mm-hmm.
inaitwa inaitwa nini, Best Buy, nikanunua
Mm-hmm.
wacha nikuoneshe, nikanunua this for my son. It's a VR set.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
a VR set. We
Mm-hmm.
aka iPhone
What is that?
so, and I was like, nataka kununua hiyo umeita nini that stand.
The stand.
Yeah, nilikuwa nimekumbuka hao watoto ndio wameniconfuse na hizo ma iPhone
Well,
za.
Pole. Next time, because we should be having a session every week. At least, you see, now we have another guest next week.
Yeah,
I'll talk
yeah.
to Nani. It's called a tripod.
Try,
Christine
yeah,
amesema inaitwa tripod.
nilikuwa nimewaambia tununue tripod.
Me, I
Eh,
have a stand. I have a small stand for the table. Of course, I'm working right now. Sikuwa nimebeba. I have the ring light, but I don't have the tripod that Nani is talking about. But thank you, Christine, for kutuchanua. Sisi ni washamba, tumetoka ushago.
And
But anyway, it has been nice having you here. It was so nice. Big up, man. We've really learned a lot. Christine, nani mwingine, Teresia. Oh, for me ndio niko shule and I came with a different visa ya shule. But I'll contact you. It's okay. Nani,
okay.
who is that? Who is that in Germany? That is Teresia Congo. Yeah, it's okay. Just hit me up on my WhatsApp.
Yes, Australia.
No, she said she's in Germany. The one who is married is the one who is in Australia, and she has already talked to me on WhatsApp. So I'll get back to her. She said she's going to chat. Then maybe we'll get somebody from Germany so that she tells us what happens.
Yeah.
Nico Germany, yeah, she's in Germany. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope, Teresia, you've subscribed. Share the live to other people so that at least we can reach a big audience. You know, you've heard that Kanini is so experienced. She has several years in experience in nursing. How many years in nursing, by the way?
15.
So we are equally the same.
15.
Me, I finished my basic in 2009.
Now, then I'm more than that. I must have, because I finished my basic in 2007. Na nikaenda 2007, the same day I finished school.
Oh my, hey, you're lucky. Teresia is telling me she came from Ayamarwa. By the way, I had traveled all the way. Nimefika asubuhi, by the way. I came back in the morning. I traveled to Nyabohanse. You know Nyabohanse?
I know Nyabohanse. Uko ni kwetu. I'm married in Migori.
What do you mean? That is where the famous YouTuber has come from.
Don't talk with me.
You don't know Marwa? You didn't see my videos with Marwa?
I didn't watch. Oh, I need to watch.
Yeah, you should watch and share, Ban. I've done a very nice video from that area. Hey, that place is so productive. So this girl called, who is this? This is Teresia Congo. She's telling me, nimeona comment yake, she's saying, yes, nilikuja through Ayamarwa YouTube. So she saw me at Ayamarwa.
Oh, I will watch that and share.
I do go and watch and share. We had gone there with my colleague. We had gone all the way.
Before wingie Kuria, uko Nyabohanse.
Mm-hmm.
There's Sony Sugar. So I come from Sony Sugar.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know the place because that was my first time to be there. We even vukad tukaenda Tanzania, but I don't know the place very well. I've known the place through Marwa. He has built a very big villa.
Yeah. Wow.
Anasema ameniona Nyabohanse. Hata Christine ameniona Nyabohanse. Yeah, I was there, Christine. Thank you for watching, guys.
Karibu tena Migori County. Unajua Migori ni yetu.
I dared. I dared and went all the way to Nyabohanse.
Listen, Migori, you know, Gini Waseka ni yetu. So karibu.
Oh yeah. Unajua mko na hadi nini? Mko na hadi airstrip.
I tell you. So
but I didn't have money to fly, so I had to use the bus, and it's far. My goodness. Kai. Ukisikia mtaka cha mvunguni, ukisikia wakisema wahenga walisema mtaka cha mvunguni sharti ainame. Hiyo nayo ni kuinama. That place is far. It's far. So guys, I think now this is out of topic, but it was a good break anyway. That was a good break. I know those people will be watching, they will be wondering, sasa hawa ni story gani tena wanaongelea? Wametoka story za nursing, wameenda story ya Nyabohanse. Guys, Nyabohanse has given me an audience. However much you might start telling us to focus. Yeah. And Teresia Kumo here has come from Ayamarwa. She's an Ayamarwa fan. Big up to you, Teresia. This is Team Marwa. You see, now I've gotten an audience. Yeah. So it was not in vain. And if Marwa, by any chance you ever watch this video, thank you so much. I don't take it for granted. We had taken to him a gift just to appreciate of the person he is, because he's really connecting so many people. Na nimeona Teresia hapa amesema, ama sijaona comment yake, amesema and the gift was great. Yeah, thank you so much for appreciating. The video also premiered today where he featured us, so you can also watch Ayamarwa. Nani unaweza enda watch Ayamarwa, utaelewa zaidi kenye tunasema. He's a brand, he's a great guy. He's one of the greatest travel commando that we have from your county, and you don't know him. I'm even surprised.
I think I've seen a lot of things in the YouTube about and Facebook about Marwa, the villa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, so you should watch him out. At least he has given me an audience. Now we are able to talk to many people as we can. So thank you so much. I don't know, when are you off next week? So that we can schedule, because I have several things that I need us to talk about. I had written some. We have talked about state selection. This video is going to save itself on YouTube, so people are able to watch later, even after we finish. We've
Yeah.
talked about education. So I think next time, I think we should talk about the experiences of nursing in America and nursing in Kenya. You can
Yeah.
give us some highlights
Yeah.
and investment. So enda uangalie ni vitu gani unaweza tufundisha ama unaweza tuambia about nursing in America, as in comparing nursing in America and nursing in Kenya. Of course, we'll have someone like me to talk about myself with my experience in nursing here,
Yeah.
and then you tell us about your nursing in America. Then itagusia kidogo mambo ya investments.
Mm.
Like if you're a nurse, what can you invest? Is it wise to invest back home or is it wise to invest there?
Mm-hmm.
Because so many people say wakienda, mi naenda only for 5 years, then I come back home. Home is the best. Lakini wakifika pale, my friend, my friend, mrudingi.
Yeah.
Sasa
But,
we want to understand, what is this thing that makes you people not come back here? You know?
yeah.
What is this thing that makes people when they leave, alikuwa akisema ati anarudi after 5 years, anakwama huko 20 years. We want to understand, is it the investment ama ni pesa haitoshangi? Unajua pia inaweza kuwa ni pesa haitoshi ya kurudi nyumbani. So you can tell us more about investments, how to save money, like that kind of a thing. And you will also talk about ati siwezi rudi wapi? Oh, huwezi rudi Kenya. Christy, East or West home is the best, but Kanini will be telling us about that. And then you'll also talk about emotional. I've heard so many people saying that ukikuja huko kuna ma stress mingi, like nurses go through a lot of stresses. What are these stresses that you people face when you're in diaspora?
Yeah.
So at least utatuelezea vitu kama hizo. I hope you've noted, but I'll text you on WhatsApp
Yeah.
zile vitu tutaongelea next time, so that at least I don't ambush you with questions. You're able to like give a comprehensive detail, because I believe this thing will help somebody. You know what we assume, if you know an information today, because wewe umejua, una assume kila mtu anajua, but you don't know somebody who is just graduating today. Kuna mtu amefanya NCLEX leo, hajui hata mambo ya state selection, but akipatana na hii video ataelewa what are the factors that I need to consider before I choose my state, like maybe being California, New Mexico and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Unaona? To see ignore na to assume at because me I know everything, like those people who are behind us. Ni kama vile nikianzanga hii video mara ya kwanza nilisemanga, don't forget that every day kuna mtu anazaliwa na every day kuna mtu anakufa. It's the same way in nursing generation. We are
Yeah.
growing old. Me, with my 50 years right now, there's somebody out there who is 20 years na ako nursing. Unaona? Kuna mwenye amejoin nursing leo. Kuna mwenye amezaliwa leo na atakuwa nurse at some point. So this is a continuous cycle. It's a continuous thing. So education matters to do with life as a nurse, because at the end of the day, we are already nurses and it's something that we can't run away from. We
Yeah.
became nurses. So, I mean, it's something that we only need to polish and like move on with it. So thank
Talk
you
about,
so much for having us here.
we talk about all those things, including ukikuja huku, please Google your name, how you're supposed to, your call. You don't know
Oh
your
my God. Like, what is my name?
ah
My name, jina yangu ni nani sasa?
unaitwaje? Zepora. You know, my name is Irene.
Hmm.
My people, I tell people my name is Irene. Irene. What you say? Irene. You mean Irene?
Oh my God. Ago safa. Mimi na kizungu yangu na venye inanilemeanga haki.
Irene.
Nitafanya nini sasa?
Unapata hata ujui jina yako.
I go tell them my name is Geshohi. Period. Hiyo story imeisha.
That's one they will never know. Don't try it.
Then what am I going to do?
You know, mi napenda kanini. So you know that.
Yeah, yours is a bit
But
simple,
I
you
can't.
know?
Yeah.
God damn it. They can't.
Haiwezi.
Well,
Hawatawahi kuita right, they will struggle everything.
oh my goodness. They'll get used to me saying I'm Zipara. What is your name? Zipara. I don't
Zepara.
know. They'll have to get what I'm saying by force by fire. Kwanza mimi kwanza chida ya matamchi. Mudo wa Nyandarua. I don't know. So, nikikuja huko I'll polish up lakini.
Uko sawa, by the way.
My good Lord. Hey. Sometimes I think in English, but when I'm talking, like today I've struggled. Talking to you in English, it has been a struggle, my friend. I've been thinking in English, but when I'm about to say something, inatoka na ile kitu nilikuwa nafikiria.
Jerry, pia itamka.
So I'm not the only one who is going to suffer. Atutaketi chini ni kucheka, wallahi. I go suffer. So this girl is from Germany. She's the one who said she's from Nyandarua, right? We've had watu wa Nyandarua wako mbele bwana. Mimi mliniacha Kenya nikifanya nini watu wa Nyandarua? Mimi nakula tu huku Waru, cash crop. Mmoja akaenda Australia, mwingine akaenda Germany. Mimi niko hapa tunakula Waru. Woya. I'm coming.
All right. Okay, thank you.
What do we say? Parting shot. What do you tell the audience? What do you tell the people around here?
Thank you, Zippy, for having me. This first session. I think the next time we're gonna improve and make it short and precise. Be a lot of beats, a lot of stories, and let's keep it here.
Sure.
Let's grow our channel. Going bigger, going national. We know we have Germany. We have all those people.
Australia.
We'll have many nurses from US. Yeah, we are going to
sure. It's true.
Yeah.
So what I would love to say this morning, I think to you guys it's evening, and I think Australia it's morning because she said she's going to church in the next few hours. So it is a good morning to the Australian people, it's a good evening to the American people, and it's a good night for the Kenyans. Like even in Africa, it's a good night. So thank you so much, Kanini, for having accepted my request to join this live. It was so informative. I believe those people were out there. At least we've learned something. At some point, we were 8 people, then we went to 9, then the numbers, like it has been fluctuating. But I believe next time we will reach a bigger audience. Christine, bye-bye. Thank you so much. By the way, Christine, I think she's in Kenya. Christine, you're in Kenya. Bye and have a good night. She is a good follower of mine. I've been seeing her comments. Thank you so much, Christine, for your support. God bless you. I also really appreciate being here. Thank you, girls. Bye. Wacha nilale. Good night. That is Teresia Kongo. She's in Germany. I think it's Germany. Time difference is, I think, 2 hours or something. It's not a big difference with Kenya. So have a good night, Teresia. To the rest of the audience, if you're watching this during the day, have a good day and thank you so much. God bless you. Please don't watch without subscribing. Give it a thumbs up if you have liked the messages that Kanini has shared with us. So yeah, tuko 2 hours nyuma yenu. Oh, wow. Okay. Thank you so much. Have a good night, Teresia, and thank you for coming. Team Marwa, God bless you so much. If it's your first time here, Mungu awabariki na karibuni nyumbani. We say this is where we all belong. Asante sana Kanini, you've been one of the biggest supporters. What? Hey, I don't know. Wewe hata sijui nikifika huko nitakubaia nini. I don't know. I think nakuja na mbuzi. I don't know what to say. Anyway, without wasting so much time, wacha niseme nimeshukuru sana kwa kukuwa na wewe hapa. I'll send you those like a template of what we need to discuss next time. I don't know, when are you off next week?
I don't know, but I'll look at it.
It's fine. You'll tell me over the WhatsApp so that we plan.
Yeah. Well, we can Saturday and it's Sunday. Yeah, so I know tomorrow I'm off. So tomorrow I'm not off. But I work 4 days.
So maybe we can do next Saturday.
Yeah.
We can do next Saturday. Sawa. Do you think it's a bit, we can do it a bit earlier than 12? Because we started at 12 midnight.
Mimi, it's my bad. By the way, sijalala the whole day. Nilikuwa kwa moshene.
Sorry.
No, I'm not. Siski usingizi niliwacha. So,
okay.
Yeah,
so we can do maybe a little bit earlier, sindio?
A lot. Hata mchana saa 8 hivi if you get time, because that time
Saturday. You,
Hivi
it won't be at night on the other side.
whatever, but it will be daytime kwenu. Ni vile nilienda Mrando na watoto kununua hizi vitu nilikwambia.
Okay, sawa. Then we'll organize over the phone, as in over the phone call, and maybe decide on what next.
All right.
Thank you so much. God bless you. Salimia toto hapo, nimeona akichungulia. Mwambie habari yako.
Kwa YouTube. Oh my goodness. Anapenda
nimeona akichungulia mambo. Bye bye.
Okay.
Sawa. Okay, bye bye. Have a good night. It's a good night, of course. Inaelekea night. Sawa. Have a
Yeah.
good evening and have a good night.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, bye bye. Okay, be blessed.